Hey there, Gemini. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your November 2008 tarot reading. If I all of a sudden say a different sign, I know I'm doing Gemini. When you do 12 of these readings in a row, sometimes my tongue gets tied or I just get something comes out of my mouth that wasn't, that isn't right. So, Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. How are you? Oh, the Fool. Yay. I haven't seen the Fool come out, I don't think. I did one. Oh, Justice. I'm liking this. Three of Swords. Hey, that's life. Two of Wands. Hierophant. King of Wands. Lots of fire. 10 of Cups. High Priestess. Ace of Swords. Nice. So that Ace of Swords for you is fantastic because I'm doing Gemini. I'm worried that I just said Aries in the Taurus video. That's why I'm talking about it, because I'm going to get 1,000 messages. Actually, I'm not, because not that many people watch my readings, but saying, are you sure this was for Taurus? Gemini. Okay. The bottom of the deck is this Eight of Pentacles. This is known as the Apprentice card. It's fine craftsmanship. I always like to say it's the difference between someone who frames a house, not knocking people who frame houses, versus someone who makes fine furniture. So there's a real artistic vibe to this card. It's gone from just the basics to artistry and creativity. So it's really something where people get to, oh wow, and you have the Eight of Wands. Messages, movement, love, new beginnings, things changing and happening very fast. So when the Eight of Pentacles comes up, for me, it means you've found a calling, or you've found something that you really like to do, or you are, even though it's called the Apprentice card, I almost feel like you're the one that now can teach other people because you've reached a point in it can be anything. Maybe, if you're play sports, you can be at a point where you can now be the teacher or the coach. You reach a level of mastery that people aspire to. It's you don't start at the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, like, unless you're a prodigy, but you've honed your craft and you're at a really high level, and people are starting to notice. So when I see this Eight of Pentacles and the Fool, it's, and even this Two of Wands, it's like it's like you're ready to put that out there. So maybe you have a side gig where, like what you love to do. Maybe you have like your job, like this would be me. I have my job. I don't love my job. I don't hate my job. And I actually have I've been there long enough. It would be hard to change. But if, it's like you found something and something has developed within you that you're ready to say, yep, I may have to sort of start over to now make this my main job. I don't feel like I'm explaining this very well. And it's time to take that leap. Like, you've gotten to the point where it's like, I'm going to open my own yoga studio. Like, maybe you've been obsessed with yoga for years and you finally did the teacher training and you're like, yeah, I have to, that's what I want to do. That's what makes me happy. It's time to do it. And the Fool can be a scary card because it's a leap of faith. You don't know if it's going to totally work out or not. but it's actually going to bring balance into your life. It's going to make you feel like everything's right with the world. And before you were going against things. I took the Myers-Briggs. I'd taken it years, like 15 years ago, and I don't remember what I was. So I retook it as part of this series of classes I'm taking for work. And he said something really interesting. He said, you know, when you're taking the test, it's hard to know because how I am at work and how I am at home are very different. And he said, you know, if you come home and you're exhausted, it's because all day you were going against your true nature. And I just got the chills. And so to be able to find something that works with the way you are naturally, again, so you're supposed to take the Myers-Briggs and how you are. He said, take it as if you're a child, like how you just instinctually, is that a word? Were not, because again, how I function at work and how I am outside of work is like very, very different. So for the whole point of this is I really feel like you guys have been swimming against the current and really are finally sort of surrendering to the fact, like, it's okay that my life path, I'm going with the flow of what's natural for me. Maybe you felt like you were brought up and society or family, or you got it into your mind for some reason that you had to like become a doctor, lawyer, accountant, one of those like very clear career paths that you'll make a good salary and you'll be comfortable, and like you being comfortable is and financially secure. Yes, I'm not knocking that. I pretty much do that. So I'm talking to myself here. I'm not judging because I'm the same way. But it's gotten to the point where you're just like, I can't do that anymore because I know what I want to do now. And I think you're really like communicating, you're starting a website, you're putting yourself out there, you're taking those next steps, and you're super inspired. Oh my God. And the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Holy moly. And it may be something that you like to do when you were a child. Like look back, maybe some of you are having like a midlife crisis, which is great. Like there are different kind of, it's all how you use it. If you see things as an opportunity, some people, and you can have a midlife crisis type thing at any age where, you can be the midlife crisis person who like has an affair or spends money recklessly and sort of completely misses the point, in my opinion. The whole point is to have that wake-up call, like, here I am with this same partner who treats me like shit, but getting divorced, I just said I was never going to do that, so I'm just going to be miserable. Or I'm just going to go have an affair then, instead of like being mature and saying, you know what, this isn't working out, or I have changed, and this isn't, I'm not in this, and it's not fair to the other person if you're not into the relationship. Or you talk to your significant other and say, hey, I'm not happy doing this anymore. I really feel like I need a change. And hey, they may 100% support you. Maybe they're unhappy too. So there's this communication about what you're feeling to those that are in your life. And it could be a transformative for the relationship. But for those of you who are in an unhappy relationship or an unhappy situation, this midlife crisis could be like, wait, what am I doing? Life is too short. Maybe you find out one of your friends has cancer, or someone you knew had cancer, someone at work. This happened to someone I know died of a heart attack. He was in his early 50s, and it was my supervisor at that time, super nice guy, extremely extremely obese. Um, it was a wake up call for him, and he lost all sorts of weight. He had all this energy, like he totally transformed. Hearing what happened to this guy, he was like, "Oh my God, this could happen to me." It was that wake up call, and so instead of having a midlife crisis the other way, like, "Oh my God, I'm pretty close to his age. Life is over. I could die. I'm going to do crazy stuff." It was a very positive change for him. That wake up call. That, wait a minute, life is too short. Why am I staying stuck where I am? Like, I can make whatever I want happen. And I mean, I think for those of you again that are in a relationship that you're want to keep, you don't want to, it actually is going to bring the family close together. Because and maybe things have been sort of blah because you've been so blah and you didn't realize how much your um, dissatisfaction with the same old routine was filtering into others in your life. And so with you taking your own happiness, taking charge of your own happiness, and making changes, it's actually spreading the happiness to everyone. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that for so long. I don't know where that came from, but you have this gorgeous Ace of Swords near the end of this reading here. And this is it. This is for Gemini, because I'm doing Gemini. It's like you just get this really clear, simple, it's almost like this download, people will say. And this is wisdom, right? And however wisdom comes to you, it's different for everyone. It's like you just get this, again, something just clicks for whatever reason, whatever triggered it. And it just became very simple. Let's downsize this house, and I want to start a yoga studio. I always pick that because, I want to open my own garage because working on cars is what I love, not sitting behind a desk. I want to travel. Let's downsize so we have money. It just becomes very, very simple. And yeah, you've wanted to do this for a really long time. You've been, I don't know if I want to say in denial, but it's just you convinced yourself that it's not in the cards for you. And then something happens where you're like, not in the cards. It has to be in the cards because life is too short and I need to, what am I doing? How much time has gone by? And then you're, again, not depressed, but motivated. This King of Wands energy. He's like, gets up and he's just like, let's do this. Like, today's another day to just do all these things I wanted to do. Yeah, it's like this burst of it. You just get energized. All of a sudden, and I really think it comes from a shift though in your brain. And you're just ready to take this new path. And of course, it doesn't have to be your whole life. You have to sell everything and go live in a tiny house or an RV. But in some area of your life, you're going to make a change that's going to significantly impact your happiness.